something. These
Cause
jobs
think
now.
about it. Don't you got that person? Everybody got that coworker. They come clock in. You don't see them to lunch. Then they go to lunch. They come back. You don't see them people till it's time
Yeah.
to get off. Like
Yeah.
you be like,
Bro,
I'm over here working my ass off. Like where you been? And then you
right.
trying not to work, not worry about them because you ain't trying to be like them. But like, bro, they working the shit out of me. Where you been?
All right, what's good, Block Nation? I'm Queen.
I'm D.
And I'm Maverick. Welcome to BlockNation, you guys. Make sure you guys text BlockNation to 26786. That will give you our text opt-in. So whenever we go live, have new merch, and we drop new videos, you'll hear it first. So make sure you text BlockNation to 26786.
For sure. Make sure y'all tap in. So listen up. This video is going to be about AI job replacement. We're going to have the conversation since everybody else seems like they scared to talk about it. We're going to go ahead and get this conversation out of the way because y'all need to be in the know about this AI job replacement because this is taking place between now and the next 10 years. They already saying 50% of the jobs will be replaced.
Now,
so how y'all
not
feel about that?
now. Not now.
Now, why are we
Now?
talking? I mean,
What?
the layoffs have started. The
Now.
layoffs have started. Yup.
Oh man, not now. Well, hey, if it's going.
I mean, y'all see what Amazon, they already doing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're already doing it.
They going crazy too. Like all these jobs, the editors, the marketers, the people who even create, contracts, lawyers, their jobs is at risk. They're already taking AI.
We're gonna go down the whole list in a second. I just wanted to hear y'all take on, just 50% of jobs between right now and the next 10 years, 10 to 15 years to be conservative. AI is gonna take the job. So I mean, listen.
By the way, we got 901 in the house.
We got 901 in here. For sure. What's good? What's good? Like he's another honorary member that I forgot to even introduce him. My bad, y'all. But y'all know who this is.
Y'all know who it is.
Word up.
Y'all already know who this is. But yeah, 901. So I mean, when you hear that within the next 10 years, what does that make you, what comes to your head when you hear that? Like
what I do is I use my page at crypto_901 on IG. I use it as a place to inform people with like putting certain posts up showing you how like each one of these technologies is going to affect your job and how it's happening in real time. I actually use it as a documentation of probably up to about maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And every day I'm showing you what's actually going on in real time. And I'm showing you the industries that it's affecting right now. And I'm giving the information for you to be able to make an educated decision based on where you're at, where you're trying to be, and just try to not make sure that your job won't be one of the ones eliminated. And even if it does, you can kind of get ahead of the curve and make the shift.
100. Listen, that's the whole thing. That's why I'm telling people, I don't know why you guys want to avoid the conversation when you can get ahead of this. This is why I tell people about blockchain and the jobs that's going to create, because that's an industry that's going to be paying very well, that you can get on now. Go ahead and get your certifications now before everybody gets, hip to it, and go ahead and have your seat. But people are just running from the conversation when you really need to get ahead of this. So I really wanted to talk about some industries that's going to be directly affected that we factually have seen. We've seen the video evidence that this is coming. So cleaners. I know y'all all seen the cleaning video on TikTok or Instagram with the machine cleaning the bathrooms.
Yeah, the machine cleaning the bathroom, it went in and did everything and very effectively. And with a machine, you ain't got to tell it, you ain't got to yell at it. You don't got to give it a break. You could just let it run.
Yell at it.
You know how the bosses be going, like, you ain't clean that bathroom up. You ain't do this or that.
You ain't got to make it go do nothing. It's just, you hit a button and it's gonna go.
Like, ain't got no feelings. Like, it just does its job. None of that. You can work it overtime.
It's gonna clean efficiently too. It's gonna get everything done. That machine was cleaning the toilet. When I saw it lift that toilet seat up and clean that toilet, I was like, "Oh, the cleaners are done. If you own a cleaning business, you're done. Like you better be finding another gig because you might have 3 years tops."
That's gonna be crazy.
And the biggest thing for business owner, it cuts costs and it saves time. That's what they're looking at. that bottom
Yeah.
line. With us being in a recession or either heading to a recession, they're looking at ways to maximize profit and eliminate the need for excess workers.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, think about it. If you're a business owner and you're starting a cleaning business and you have a whole fleet of AI robots just going out just to houses, buildings, and everything else, like you don't have any humans. Like, just think about that. Like, you have a whole fleet of robots
What?
to where you're just programming them probably from a laptop or a phone or something, and you can see the
Right.
work that's being done. You can probably get paid through, an app or whatever, and
Yeah,
you're done.
Yeah.
that's so that would be my suggestion. Like if you in the cleaning business, you may want to go ahead and start investing into the machines or seeing how much it costs to lease these machines because you physically cleaning them like these nah. You want to be the owner of the machine or at least be the person like that the people got to call to get the machine to come to their, building or home, whatever. That's a direction you might want to go in opposed to just buying more cleaning materials because they finna give you that call. Like when it's time to renew that contract, they might be like, yeah, nah, we good. We good.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause just imagine a fleet, like you said, Maverick, a fleet of robots just coming to your crib and just being like, "Yo," not even saying nothing, just ready to do the detail because you already put in the operations. Like, okay, I want you to clean the bathroom, I want you to clean the kitchen, and they just know where everything is at. They know the schematics and everything. So,
They just bust it out.
maybe you need one person to man this stuff, just to make sure everything runs smoothly. But the person that's manning it, they not gonna do no cleaning. They just gonna sit there and just make sure the robots is working.
The
You know what I
machines is
mean?
going to the right place. I mean,
Right.
that's probably what you want to look into. Like, be the person that's dropping the machine off, or the person that own the machines. Like, that's what I would do. I would, however much money you got, even if you can only buy one or two, I would just buy those and listen. You can keep me on your contract, and then we're gonna use these machines, and then this is my cost. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I would figure out something like you got to finesse out, not finesse really, but you just got to be smart. You got to be innovative. You got to keep up with the time.
Like, you know how like they have like public bathrooms, like Starbucks, if you go into a Wendy's or McDonald's or whatever, they gonna have those robots in there every other hour just cleaning the bathrooms. That business to business is gonna be crazy.
Another thing I would tell people too, if you are a business owner and you're thinking about buying one, you can also learn everything about the technology and the companies that are making the robots. So then you can actually own the robot and invest in the technology at the same time. So now you are actually a person that uses the technology and you invest in the technology. So now you're making money both ways.
Yep,
Thousand.
exactly. Hey, that was free game right there. We
Free
giving
game.
out free
Yeah.
game. Like that's some more free game. Like so that's for people in that industry. That's some ways for you to continue to still make money. The next thing that is something is a topic we always talk about is bankers. Bankers. We already know bankers are gonna be gone, but I don't think people realize accountants and like research analysis. Those positions are gonna be gone too. I mean,
Yeah.
me personally, I got friends that are research analysis, bankers, and accountants. But I don't think people like those industries because the reason I bring those up is because those are higher paid jobs. So those people are gonna be like, you know, that's I feel like that's why they open up a lot of mental health facilities because those people are gonna like lose their mind. Cause you gotta think if you're making 90 to 100,000 or a little over that a year, and then you get laid off, and it's like that's all
Yeah,
you've
what do
been
you
doing for
do?
the
Robot
past
took your
10,
job.
15 years.
Robot took my
A
job.
robot or AI took my
Yep.
job.
Yep. I mean, you got to think about it. It's kind of like it's pretty clear that that's where we're going because a lot of these companies have already been, shedding a lot of these salaries. So, what makes it think that and another thing I wanted to bring up, like when it comes to accountants, bankers and stuff like that, it's kind of like these guys need to stay abreast on what's going on. They don't even know what's going on outside. You know what I mean?
They
Like
don't.
they don't. Like you go up to these guys that work at these institutions and some of these CPAs and stuff like that, they don't even know like crypto or any of this digital asset stuff.
I tell people that in my one-on-ones, go to the bank and ask whatever bank you go to, ask them. I don't care if you ask the branch manager, ask them what they know about crypto. Most of them don't know nothing.
That's
If they
funny.
and if they do, it's only Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's funny you said that. I did that the other day. I went into a branch and I was depositing something, and I was just like, you know what? Let me ask. I was like, hey, what do you know about blockchain and cross border payments? And they're like, oh, I don't know nothing about that. I was like, what about Fed now? Well, no, I don't think we start using that yet. I'm like, wait, hold up. So you know
Yeah.
about Fed now,
but
but you
you
don't know
don't know
about
about
crypto and
blockchain.
blah. I got your ass.
Yeah.
They're putting on like they don't. Yeah, I think they playing dumb.
Yeah.
Nah, for
And that's
sure.
one thing. That's one thing I always tell people that I was taught at an early age. When you work a job, learn everything you can about not just your job, but the next man's job beside you. Because the more you learn about the job, if you get good at it, you can then go and be self-employed and do that same job yourself. Because no
Exactly.
other person knows more about their business than you, the worker that was actually doing the work. And that's how I did when I was in the collision repair industry. I did that. I learned everything. I learned the software. I learned parts ordering. I learned painting. I learned the body work, frame straightening, welding, all that stuff. You put it all together, then you go do it for yourself.
I feel the
Yes,
same
sir.
way. It's like me and Maverick told y'all before we worked at Enterprise. It's the same thing. They show you how to run a fleet of cars, and you pretty much
Yep.
know how to run a rental car business. So no, for sure, definitely take everything you done learn from these companies and apply it and see if you can, start your own business with it. Like see if it's gonna be relevant in the future and what's coming up. But yeah, the other thing I wanted to bring up was insurance companies. I saw that was something else when I was looking this stuff up about AI job replacement. When I saw insurance companies come up, I'm like, you know what? I insure it with Geico, and I'm like, mainly everything you need to do with Geico, you can really do on that app. It's only a certain things you got to call them for, but I'm like, damn, that is true because like even when it came down to like a claim, like someone hit my car, I did the whole thing on the app. Geico ended up calling me the next day, but I didn't initially have to call them. Like normally, you would have to call them and file the claim and do it, but no, you just go right on the app, put the pictures on there, and I'm like, dang, you ain't really like they
Yeah.
call you, and you just
Yeah.
wait for them to
Yeah.
call you.
Now tie that to the collision side of it. If you have an accident, they do all the information inside of the app. You actually become your own estimator. You point, you click. It knows the database of all the parts in that area. So then all you have to do if the parts are not physically damaged, is just hit delete. And once you hit delete, it automatically takes the prices off. And by the time you get done, you have a completed estimate that they can send over to the body shop. Just like that.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was gonna
Bam.
ask about that. I was gonna ask about the adjuster part. I was like, well, maybe they just have adjusters come out, but you just answered
Now
my
they're
question.
they're gonna eliminate them. I just got an email I think 2 weeks ago with like the updates of where you use your iPad, you go out, you look at the damage, you take a picture of say a front end collision, it automatically knows everything from the bumper to however far you take pictures, and then once you physically look at it when you tear the vehicle down, you just delete what's good and just keep going like that and hit the button and you got a official estimate. Just
And that's why AI is gonna be so effective because it is straight to the point. It's gonna get the job done. It's not all that extra work. You would have to do something else to do it for you. You just gotta apply it. Like,
Yeah.
like they
Yeah.
just making it easy. To me, for entrepreneurs, this is like it's cutting costs in every direction. Like Nana was bringing up earlier, like it's cutting costs. Like you won't need an accountant. You got to think about it. When you do your taxes every year, most people I know, unless they own a business or something, but when they do their personal taxes, most people who work a 9 to 5, they use TurboTax or
mm-hmm.
whatever them other
Mhm.
apps are. And they file their own taxes. Like when I was a kid, you used to be like, "What a tax lady at?" Like everybody was rambling to find somebody to do their taxes for them. Like, so that it's
Yeah.
convenience. It's just you can do it
It
right there on your phone.
it is
Yeah, and
convenience.
think about what you said about taxes. I did mine there. They even got looked at the little AI bot is right there. You just click on it. Any question that you ask the bot. You take the picture, and it automatically puts the information in there for you. Like it cuts down
It's,
time on everything.
so I wanted to mention since you mentioned like your insurance company calling you. What do you feel about like how you call a call center or customer service, and then it takes so long for you to get to somebody. It takes so long for you to get to a human voice. You know what I'm saying? That happens more and more and more often now than it ever happened before. It seems like it takes forever to get to a human. You know what I mean? So like this is where we are, and I think this is where it's just gonna keep heading, right?
I mean,
Yeah,
I think the thing about it is because I wanted to touch on that about like what or who will still have a job. And there's certain things that you're still gonna need a human for because robots or AI, they don't have empathy. There's certain stuff that a human is still gonna have to do, which is why I won't
yet.
say AI is gonna take. Well, yeah, not
He
yet.
said not
But,
yet.
Not yet. They're not
but
sentient yet, right?
yeah,
Skynet on
but
the way.
It's a language barrier too. So I mean,
Yeah.
when you kind of look at it, AI may be bad, but if they do it with the quick phrases of say like bill pay, issues with my phone and certain things like that, when you click on it, you can see it was a nuisance, but it is getting better. Like every time you use it, it's getting better and better. So they are working on
yeah.
Yeah,
How
you can
y'all?
see that the phrases now you can pretty much say anything. Like when you call your
it.
bank now, they're like, "Oh, this is just a couple of examples of what you can say, but tell us whatever is wrong." And I'll just be like, it won't be like a short phrase. I'll be like, "Well, so and so and so and so, my bank did this," and and then they'll understand. So it is getting better for sure. So as it
Hmm.
evolves, it'll be to a point where you're just having a conversation at this point, and we won't ever get to a human being. That'll
Nope.
be it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
see
the
that.
point we get into. You probably have to, and even like emails and stuff is gonna be automated too. So, because I was getting ready to say, well, shit, you can email them. Nah, them emails gonna be automated. So this is the direction we're going in. But how do you guys feel about the lawyer thing? Because I know a lot of people like I'm not letting no robot, you know what I'm saying, represent me in court.
What if it's
So how you,
incentivized? What if it's incentivized to use a AI? What if it's like, yo, this AI has been proven 98.999% of the time you will win
but
your
that's where
case,
that empathy part come in at though.
right?
But let me put it like this: if a person is facing jail time, their life on the line, and they said he's got a 90% success rate, man, them people ain't caring. Like
Yeah,
where
they're
he
not.
at?
Oh
Like where
yeah,
he at?
They're not.
They trying to
They
keep him
not.
going to jail, man. You just
Yeah.
improved 90% success rate. Hey, where he at?
yeah.
Hey,
Where
think
you
Yeah.
about it.
at?
Nice.
Most people do less with a public defender. So I mean, hey,
I mean,
Oh
that's
yeah, it
true.
Because you
works.
got to think, like, who, you know, how lawyers got to remember all those cases and stuff like that. What better than a robot? What
Hmm.
better than the AI? They could go back from cases from years and years ago and just refer
Right.
to that. So, hey,
Everything
They
gonna be
might have
yeah.
detective AI in a minute cracking cold cases.
yeah,
Like they're gonna be like going through databases
word
when
up.
1978, when Joe did,
Yeah.
he wasn't there, and then like, oh, AI solved the case.
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
then,
with the
and then when you think about the crime part, okay, what do people always do? They always text and they always on social media. You run that database, you put that in the algorithm, you add AI. Hey, it's a lot of stuff gonna start to get solved around here because I mean, people talk a lot.
and you always be talking about the
Oh,
scammers, Ash. You always be talking about the
hey, it's raps for them. I already told them to wrap it up. Like y'all
Yeah,
need to
it's a
wrap
rap
it
sheet.
up. Like, listen, y'all better put that money in a business, in some assets or something. I told them what to do. I'm like, listen, it's raps for y'all. They about to
Yeah, because
catch everything because they get me to the next thing I wanted to talk about, which was they have AI is like being used to track people. Like so at certain jobs, like I mean, we all know AI is like watching us while we on the streets and stuff. They scanning your face, they, you know what I'm saying, looking at who is who. But did y'all know that certain jobs have AI that's used to track employees' productivity at work while they're working
oh
there?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I
Hey,
saw they did it in the
I
classroom in China.
yeah, I had just posted the day and I said, man, if you think about it, it makes sense because everybody that worked a job where it seems like when I come in here and work, I'm doing my job, but nobody else is doing theirs, but their job is directly tied to mine. And if they don't do what they need to do, it affects me. So now if you got that, man, they can really find out who's really worth the money. Who should I really be paying to do the job when his performance is basically a zero? Like we could save that money on something else.
Right.
And we got real analytics to like back this up. So it's like,
Yeah,
and you know most of the time at work now you can go finesse your way out of like why you
yeah.
ain't being productive. You could be like, oh, my grandfather died. Like I mean I'm just saying, like you can say something. These jobs
Because just think
now,
about it. Don't you got that person? Everybody got that coworker. They come clock in. You don't see them to lunch. Then they go to lunch. They come back. You don't see them people till it's time
yeah,
to get off. Like
yeah.
you be
bro,
like, I'm over here working my ass off. Like where you been? And then you
right.
trying not to not worry about them because you ain't trying to be like them. But like, bro, they working the shit out of me. Where you be?
Yeah, bro
Right.
ain't missing
Chilling,
lunch.
chilling. You know what I mean? But like you said, the AI is going to be able to track it. So y'all better be on your P's and Q's or invest
Man,
or something.
I mean, yeah, and this is just really for the people that's gonna be left that's still gonna have a job. That's they about to be tracking productivity. Like it was I think I saw the video on TikTok and they were showing it how they were like watching them work and stuff, like watching their productivity. And then that's when I saw the one in China where they were in the classroom and they were the teacher knew when the student wasn't paying attention or when they weren't focused. They got to wear this thing on their head. And I was like, oh my
That's just
God.
crazy. Come
That's
on.
Well,
insane,
I
bro.
go back. I go back to the Japanese. When the Japanese got into the car market for assembling cars, Toyota created what they call the lean process, where they can look at how can we shorten the amount of steps it takes to produce this vehicle from the beginning of the line with just a body to a finished product at the end of the line. Toyota was the factory that basically streamlined that lean process to where they can cut out as many steps as they could. And that's why Toyota became one of the biggest car industries in the world because of that lean process. And they got so good at it that everybody else started doing it. And now when you think about what China's doing and what Japan did with the lean process, imagine adding AI to it. Man, they put robots in there. You won't even have a lot of people on the assembly line even putting the cars together.
Mm-hmm. No.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
that's the
getting
reality.
different.
That's the reality of the new outside.
That's where we at. And I mean, that's you see Amazon, like you see like how they don't need forklift drivers and they don't need all that stuff no more. Like so that's a promise. I think that goes hand in hand with the Toyota thing. Like you don't need all them people in there moving boxes no more. Like you really I don't even know who's gonna be left at Amazon. For real,
But
for
you
real.
know what? This smells like a setup for UBI because everybody who got cut, they're going to UBI.
Listen, Elon Musk said it. He said we may need some sort of national wage because they were talking to him about the future of AI. And he will, and they were asking him about it. I don't know if that interview was recent or a few years ago. Either way, Elon Musk came out and said, and then he was like, and this isn't how I feel or what I think. He said, this is what I pretty much like, this is what I know is going to happen type shit. And he definitely was talking about universal basic income. So one of y'all want to, none of one you want to tell them what UBI is? What? Because I know you bring it up all the time that folks going to be in that UBI line.
UBI is universal basic income. It's basically a supplemental income for people that lack income to be able to meet their day-to-day needs, monthly needs, or whatever. I consider it almost a form of welfare. I mean, that's just all it is. Anytime they're giving you something that you don't necessarily work for, that's what you consider welfare. And I go back to, I think I may get this date wrong, but I know it's Andrew Yang. He was a Democratic presidential nominee. He appeared on a Breakfast Club, and he was on there with Charlemagne, and he had told them, "We're going to do the same thing to every other sector like we did Silicon Valley." And if you go back and look at that interview from whatever that date was, which I think it may have been 2018 or 19, look at from the time period he said that to where we at now, and you tell me everything he did say in that interview is not true today. Like in 5 years, look at the progress we've made as to how they are eliminating jobs. And if we want to get technical, you go back down to CV-19. From that point that we got locked down to where we are now, look at how fast everything has transitioned. Like they even did a test to where you could, during CV-19, you could go to Kroger and you could just get out your car, pay, pump your gas, get back in the car. It wasn't even an attendant there. You was an attendant there if you needed them, but in that case, they didn't need one. Everything was ran on its own.
That's crazy because people feel like we like 10, 20 years from this stuff. I'm like, this stuff is happening right now. It just happened.
Like, y'all said that 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So we're here now. Here we are 10, 20 years later. And we here. Okay, and then they still saying 10, 20 years from now.
I'm gonna go better than that. I don't know how old everybody is, but I remember watching the Jetsons. And you think about the Jetsons, go back. The Jetsons, he had the watch. That was like the Apple Watch, Samsung watch. And remember, they was having meetings on technically Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom, FaceTime.
Like, everything is already predicted, and they're doing it, and they're now actually coming to pass. And they put it in
programming.
They put it in these movies to show it to you. So therefore, when you actually see it, you're like, well, wait, I've seen that somewhere. And it's crazy that like when you see it, it almost make it to where like it's acceptable because you've seen it somewhere before. So now you don't have any fuss and any kind of pushback to it because they make you comfortable with accepting it when it actually happens.
That's exactly what it is. And that's why I always tell people they have studied the human brain and they know how we react to certain things, and they are using that to their advantage for sure.
That be making folks uncomfortable as hell. Like people don't even want to talk about it. People don't even want to discuss it. People don't even want to acknowledge it. But this is the type of things that's happening, and you either looking into it, and staying ahead of the curve, like 901, like we've been saying, or hey, you're gonna have to take whatever that comes with the consequences of not.
Yep. And with that being said, I really want to get into, so who will still have a job in the future? I know I wrote down two things. Content creators, or just creators in general. Because I mean, you just can't get away from that. You can't get away from the human touch. We see content creating has expanded since Vine. I feel like content creators really blew up when Vine was out. Who remember that app Vine?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Vine was crazy.
Like DCM Fly is a product of that. He blew up off of 4-second videos.
Yeah.
I think they were 4 or 6 seconds. Whatever, it was under 10.
Yeah.
It was blowing up off of 4-second videos.
Yep. King Von, he was another one that blew up off of Vine.
Yeah.
Yep. Like these, like listen, like I mean, we're trying to give y'all the blueprint.
we can't not miss the whole thing if you want to talk about like the impact of social media. Man, you got to give Soulja Boy his flowers. I mean, like Soulja Boy, like he changed the whole way record companies find talent just by using the internet.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm that kid. Listen, I grew up. I feel like I'm the youngest one in here, so I really was a part of the Crank That Soulja Boy. Like that whole epidemic, I call it the Crank That epidemic, because that's what, like, it was. Well, maybe not epidemic, but it was, everybody was dressing like, everybody was putting the glasses on with the words on there, long t-shirts, big jeans. I'm talking about swag surfing. We listen.
Yeah, it was a movement.
That was like crazy. I was in middle school when all of that happened, and when I say it was a routine to be in your living, move the table out of the way, and be in the room, like you really was
cranking it
and recording yourself and putting them videos on the internet. Soulja Boy really started that. Like Instagram owes that man half of whatever they got. So YouTube really needs
YouTube,
if YouTube just need to really give that, you know what I'm saying? Soulja Boy 80%.
Hey, and here's another thing he did also too. He even beat the algorithm before I think even algorithm was popular. He would attach his videos to like another artist video. So when you clicked on that artist, you clicked on his stuff.
It was him. So he started.
Man, I'm telling you, man, they owe that man a lot of money. When he said he the first did it, I mean, it's facts.
And now
it is facts.
Now you see him now, he's working with LimeWire, because LimeWire came back, through this blockchain technology. They doing NFTs and all this stuff like that. So he doing work with them. But like as far as content creators, and shout out to my bro Coop that was on episode earlier, he was talking about this to me, how there's gonna be $500 billion on the low end for content creators. Because you got to think about it. Hollywood right now is struggling hard. Like they struggling. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're struggling to get people in the movie theaters and stuff like that. It's because people's on YouTube, people on TikTok.
But I really heard these people is roped up though, because they signed the contract.
Well, like whether they're roped up or not, we got $500 billion coming into the creator economy market just for ads. Just for ads, yo.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And AI is gonna be huge in that. AI, like they have AI influencers already. They have influencers to where they create them on like Mid-Journey or all these other AI creator apps to where they're creating like a face and everything else. Facts. The voice isn't real, everything. All that they have. Check it out. Go to YouTube and search AI creator or AI anime creator, whatever. There's hundreds of them now.
It's too easy. Yo.
Yeah. Those automated. Have you guys seen those automated YouTube channels? To where they're basically
YouTube automation.
AI writes the script, then AI creates the pictures that's on the video, and then like the voice that's like doing the whole thing, that narration, that's AI too. It's a YouTube automation. Like that is a huge business. Like you don't have to put your face, your name or anything. You just do it through all AI and just create a page.
Right? Yeah, but I mean, just bro, Soulja Boy is amazing. I ain't mean to bring him back up, but what he did was just crazy, because like you gotta think he was a teenager, and it's like who in their teenage mind would be like, I'm about to just start pretty much vlogging or recording everything I do, and I'm gonna put it on YouTube.
You call that a pioneer. You call that a pioneer.
Yeah, for
that's it.
sure.
That's it. Hey, just like us, we're pioneers when you think about it. Like, look
Facts.
at the rest of the world compared to us with crypto. Like, we seem crazy now, but just timestamp this video and go 10 years from now, we're gonna look like we were geniuses because we saw something that somebody else couldn't see. Just like the
Yeah.
people that was in Web 2. Those people in
Listen.
Web 2 saw the ability to move information is key, just like we're looking at the ability to move money like information is key.
You heard them. You heard 901. Go timestamp this video, whatever date we release this video, go back to it 5-10 years from now and see if we right. If we right, you know where we stand, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Cause I mean, it is what it is. We done told y'all what's coming. All we did was read. It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, we sat, you know what I'm saying, outside in the sun and then something just told us what happened, and we really we just saw, we read it. All you gotta do is read, do a little research.
The information's out there, y'all.
And we had the desire to want to. That's the key. Like right now, it reminds me of what my grandmama told me. She said it was a point when we couldn't read and they wouldn't allow us to read. She said, but with your generation, you won't read. And the best way to hide information is to put it in a book. Because until you open that book up, read it, and comprehend it, it's just a book sitting on the dresser.
Mm-hmm.
And 901, you don't even gotta even open up a book no more. All you gotta do is put on an audio book while you in your car. You know what I mean? While you walking around, like you don't even gotta open up a physical book no more, and people still won't even do that, right?
Okay, well, let's bring it back to AI. All you have to do is speak whatever's on your mind into the phone, and it'll bring it
for you.
It'll bring it for you. It's too easy. It's too easy.
It's too easy. It's too easy.
And it's really no excuse. When you think about people saying, I wish I shoulda, coulda, woulda, it really is kind of like no excuse at this point because the average person has an iPhone or at least a Samsung phone in their pocket. They're like, hey, anything that you can think of that you don't know, that you want to know, you just speak it and it's right there. Right there.
Yeah.
And it's connected to your laptop and your smart TV. And getting in your car is connected to your car.
They make it too easy to where now it's like you take it for granted. People don't realize how powerful cell phones are, how powerful the internet is, and you can make money from it. You can gain influence. You can do so many different things, and most don't. That's the thing.
Here's the key. Take somebody's phone and go look at their search history, and you can look at what they search, and you will see why some people are where they are in life. Look at what you do all day. Look at what you search all day.
Look at what you're looking at.
Yeah. And then the way the algorithm works, the algorithm is going to show you what you look at. It's just a reflection or a mirror of what you look at. If you look at Pornhub and IG all day, it's going to show you Pornhub, IG. If you're looking at crypto, stock, investment, bonds, real estate, it's going to show you the latest news that's dealing with that. So what it's doing is setting back training itself according to what you do, put it in the algorithm, and now it's using AI to show you what you always want to look at.
Exactly.
So true.
That's exactly what it's doing. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all need to check y'all circles. Cause I mean, if they're not having the conversation that we just had, you know, you need to really be questioning some things because you guys need to be preparing for what's coming. But the second thing that I also found that will still be around is pretty much that you'll still be able to create jobs with social aspects. Because AI is not good with dealing with people. So that's the good part about, I guess, what's coming is because people who are like we were talking about earlier, like you'll be able to pick and choose who you want to work within whatever you got going on, editors or whatever. Like you can create jobs, and that's pretty much what's happening. Because I feel like with the last generation, with the Industrial Revolution, they'll lose a wave of jobs, but then another wave of jobs will be created because something else came out. Like, so you got to keep creating. So that's the thing, but we're going to be creating the creator is that person's going to be creating a job, not a company or something like that. Like, so I feel like those are like two things that'll still be around. But other than that, I couldn't really find anything else when I was doing some research earlier. As far as what else can be around.
They always say, like, you know, cybersecurity, you know, stuff like that is going to be around because you're always going to need somebody to help man and manage.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I'm thinking about blue collar job. I know people who are career oriented and those like tech engineers. I'm talking about people who just fill out, they
Oh,
lose one job, they fill out a job. Like you lose
oh,
your job at Walmart, you just gonna
Yeah.
go to Target. I'm
oh,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
those
yeah,
people.
yeah. Those,
Yeah,
I
if
those
you
should
are,
have
got if you got
specified.
a
I should have
skill,
specified.
yeah.
those are gonna,
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
got a skill
If you got
job,
a
you'll
skill,
still
you're
see a
good.
pyramid there. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Like we know plumbers and electricians and people that's into like engineering and like you just said, cybersecurity. Those people are gonna have a job. But I'm talking about people who, you know what I'm saying, like you Walmart fire you, you just gonna go to Target.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
Mhm.
They're gonna be
those
fighting
people
over
are in
that.
trouble.
Listen, they're gonna be fighting over that
Yeah.
floor manager position because the floor manager is gonna have the duty of just watching all the robots. And
All the
it sound crazy, but it's not, yo. It's not. It's not.
They'll be
and,
setting
and,
up in the
and,
Been there,
office. They'll be setting up in the office just like the video she was talking about earlier that I posted with the little green boxes and red boxes tracking performance. They don't even have to leave.
Nope.
mm-hmm. Yep. So that's the thing I realized, like people that are not career oriented is gonna really like, or they don't have a specific skill. Those are the ones that's gonna suffer. And believe it or not, it's a lot of people like that. I'm one of those people. It's not a specific career that I ever in life wanted to do because I never dreamed to work. Like even as a child, when you in 5th grade and they ask you, do you want to be a firefighter, police officer? I was never one of the kids. I'm like, no. Like, do you want to work
Yeah,
with computers? No.
that was always my answer in my head. I'm like, no, I don't want to
No.
do that shit.
Like, do you
Yeah.
want to be an
This
accountant? I don't like math. No. Like, I know how to count
yeah,
money,
this
but nah.
generation this generation never kind of really wanted to do that because like even when I was
Nah.
coming out, I would just say I was fortunate enough to be around a family that like did work with cars and stuff, and I saw that, and in my mind, I'm like, that's the easiest thing to get into. Being that I have to work, which I didn't like to work, but I'm figuring if I got to work a certain amount of time, I might as well do something that I don't mind doing for a length amount of time. And then, like I said, once you start figuring out about crypto and getting into this, like working, owning a business, and then investing, those are your 3 steps. Working is cool. Nothing wrong with having a 9 to 5. It's honorable. You're making good money. But
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
once you
Yeah.
get able to learn what you can do with that money you make, and you can live below a certain income, and you can take the difference of what you got and you can invest in something. So therefore, you don't have to put out as many man hours because the older you get, man, the less you're gonna be able to put out physically, man. And that's why we're trying to tell
Mm-hmm.
people like, look, don't get caught in between this shift of these two economies because that's where you're gonna be. If you don't think forward or you get caught behind, you're just gonna be stuck in the middle. And trust me, these people don't care. They don't care. It's
Nah.
gonna be have
No,
and
you don't
have
care.
not. No middle.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't. That's why we're
Absolutely not.
telling you, you don't want to be dependent upon UBI. That's why I tell people the government gonna be your daddy if you don't get your affairs in order. Because to me, if the government is giving you universal basic income every month and you're dependent on that to feed yourself and your family, the government
No,
is your daddy. You're at the mercy
let,
of the government.
let me.
So you got to comply. They're gonna make you comply to everything, and if you don't comply, you're not getting that UBI check.
So they just raised the age limit on the SNAP benefits for non-able workers to like 52, 54 years old or something like that, effective come September. So they want older people now to start working, the available hours for these benefits. So
Wow.
So if your back hurt, it don't matter. Get to work.
listen,
It's crazy they're doing that because what you're making them, what jobs is going to be around for them to do it?
well, it's going to be
You asking
something for them
somebody
to do. It's going to be something for them to do, whatever they want them to do, like, and that could be
Mhm.
anything, you know what I'm saying? That could be anything. When you talk about 15-minute cities and, the whole society that, they're building up, from right now, people don't want to have these types of conversations, but this is what's happening, yo. So
Mm-hmm.
listen,
Yep.
tell your peoples, like, this stuff is happening. This stuff is going on. Just pay attention. Pay attention.
Look at Maui.
Right.
That's gonna be a smart city. That's gonna be a 15-minute city. Maui, they didn't give up that land for centuries, and all of a sudden we're talking about a fire. But what they did in all the elites' homes, yeah, they were untouched, and they own thousands of acres. Oprah owns like 2,000 acres, along with a lot of elites and celebrities that own massive acres in Maui, and now they're talking about building a smart city. And then some of the government bought up some of that land too. The government, they did a summit there, a digital summit, to where they're talking about building smart cities and all that, and have AI ran cities in Hawaii. How convenient. So be on the lookout.
No, for sure. And not to mention they ain't hit none of the houses with a blue roof. Or the blue cars
Shit.
that
We're
get
gonna
touched.
get into it.
I
We're
didn't mean to.
gonna get into it now.
I couldn't help
Yo.
myself. I couldn't help it. I had to bring it up. So listen, I
Blue
thought
roof,
something else.
blue cars, blue objects. Go do your research. All the blue stuff, them lasers that they was using, it doesn't hit anything blue. Anything else.
He brought up the lasers. He talking about
hey,
he brought the laser. I didn't say that.
Since you mentioned that, I just want to mention this. I just saw a clip from this movie, Songbird. It came out during the height of the pandemic in 2020. It was the C word 23. What year are we in? 23, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The elites, the rich people in the movie had on blue.
That's very telling.
Because you was talking about predictive programming earlier. I'm just that's
I can
that's
tell
kind
you
of
right
wild.
now. I can tell you right now, we going between that shift of the seasons changing, barometric pressures, and all that bad eating and bad habits people been doing all summer, drinking and smoking and partying.
Beyonce concerts, everything.
Yep.
Yeah, people was going crazy over that shit. Like, just sidebar real quick. I was just in Vegas. Man, they had the Beyonce concert out there. Everybody was losing their minds.
You know what she just told everybody to do for the month of September for her birthday month? She said everybody needs to come dressed in silver. I want everybody to mirror each other and stuff like that. I'm like, there has to be something else to that. He literally put out a statement, and Etsy, the company Etsy, went up 200% because she said that. Etsy went up 200% because she said that.
Damn.
In sales.
Look like somebody finna make a reflection of something that can collect something. What it look like to me.
Listen, that's wild. That's wild, B.
I can't get with it. I ain't part. Let me stop. I don't want the Beehive coming for BlockNation.
Yeah, I know. Beehive, we cool.
Nah.
We cool.
Listen, we just saying what she said.
We don't want no smoke. We don't want no smoke. Listen, so another industry that I thought was like crazy, like one of my nurse friends was telling me that doctors, AI is getting ready to take a lot of the doctors away. Because she said a lot of these doctors be working from home. And I'm like, how does a doctor work from home? And she's like, they can go, like, they can do their surgeries from home, and they can program through their computer what they want the robot to do for the surgery, and it'll do it. I said, what?
Well,
she said,
like
a lot of them don't be in the hospital.
When you get a laparoscopic surgery, say women that have maybe like a hysterectomy or a guy that has like a hernia surgery, a small percentage of those surgeries are already done by robots. Like I had one in like 07, and part of it was done with one.
And that was in 07. So imagine when they're doing it in 2023. And that's the thing. Like I know someone was telling me like even like ACL surgeries for like people, athletes. They said it's it's a majority of machine doing that. They're just controlling it. The doctors are just they're not going in there and doing it. It's a machine doing it, and they're just controlling the machine. It's crazy.
So you mean to tell me if I was going to medical school for like 7 years,
it's a waste,
hella debt, do all this stuff, and all of a sudden a robot come and take my job? I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's going on.
They still want that money from that debt that you borrowed too.
Right.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah. That's what's insane. So I thought that was interesting. But but we hope y'all enjoyed this video. We just wanted to kind of point out some industries that will be affected. We can kind of run through a couple. Did you have some 901 that you wanted to touch on?
No, I tell people this right here. Like when you're looking at the AI and the ability for humans and computers to interact, everything we said is very big. But then on the other side of it, when you think about us trying to be able to pay into that system, you then have to look for cryptocurrencies that are based around payments and AI. And one that I can think of is ISO 222 approved is IOTA. So I would tell you to go look into some information about IOTA. And if you don't have it, you may want to ask them. And that's not financial advice.
That's not financial advice.
The Internet of Things, IoT.
Definitely look into that. But yeah, listen, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to this video. Make sure you go to shopblocknation.com, copy some merch. Make sure you go to the Text Now app. I'm gonna let Maverick tell you the number because I don't want to mess it up. But yeah, make sure you go to the Text Now app and opt in. But go ahead, Maverick.
Yes, sir. So text Block Nation, the word Block Nation, to 26786. That's Block Nation to 26786, and that will opt you into our text. So you get any updates. You can go live, merch, drop a new video. You'll hear it first.
And shout out
For
to
sure.
our
And make
guy,
sure
Crypto 901 for coming through. Check out his
Yes,
page. We're gonna put it
sir.
in the bio,
sure.
in
Yeah,
the
appreciate y'all,
description,
man.
for sure.
100%. And make sure y'all join the Telegram, Real Block Nation, no spaces. Telegram is Real Block Nation, no spaces. All
No
right,
spaces.
y'all. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.